Modern political maps separate South Asia, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, through rigid, heavy lines. But to find the region's roots, we must conceptually erase these borders. Centuries ago, this unbroken landmass operated as Akhand Bharat, a massive, unified cultural ecosystem. This vast territory was never held together by a single dialect or a central bureaucracy. Instead, a shared underlying philosophy unified the people and dictated how they interacted with the world. This civilizational identity reached from the mountains of Afghanistan, across India and Nepal, extending south to Sri Lanka and into Southeast Asia. Understanding how this massive identity remains indestructible requires us to look past conventional politics into the ancient, universal laws that first established it. The foundational framework of this civilization is the Trimurti, three forces governing the cosmos. It starts with Brahma, representing the initial force of creation. This creative energy shaped Bharat over 3,000 years ago, moving through the rishis, ancient sages who sought to understand the mechanics of existence. These sages produced the Vedas. Far from being simple folklore, these texts were highly structured investigations into sound vibrations, nature, and the energy of the universe itself. These investigations produced the concept of dharma. At its core, it functioned as a universal law of balance and duty, rather than competing religious beliefs. Dharma served as the invisible logic that organized early society, providing a common set of rules for everything from family life to governance. By grounding its society in this shared philosophical and scientific pursuit of truth, the region established a civilizational bond that transcended local differences. The second cosmic force is Vishnu, the sustainer who protects the balance of dharma. This raises the question of how an abstract philosophy survives the violent reality of human history. The civilization encoded its values into moral blueprints like the Mahabharata. This epic framed human conflict as a symbolic struggle between dharma and ego, ensuring the philosophy remained a lived experience. This preservation also took a physical form. The culture developed a hardened warrior class, like the Rajputs, who were trained to prioritize the protection of these cultural tenets over their own survival. Leaders and ancient strategists, guided by thinkers like Chanakya, focused their rule on maintaining this unified identity even when the land was politically fragmented. By embedding its core philosophy into both its grandest stories and its most disciplined warriors, the civilization built a structure designed to endure the cycles of human power. That endurance was tested by relentless waves of invasion. Persians, Greeks, and Mughals all arrived to claim the physical territory of Bharat. While kingdoms were dismantled and temples were destroyed, the underlying cultural framework survived. The civilization adapted to its conquerors without losing its core philosophical continuity. British colonial rule introduced a different category of threat. This was a system of psychological domination that sought to control the population by eroding its history. Through the divide and rule strategy, the colonial administration worked to weaken the concept of Akhand Bharat by intentionally fracturing the shared identity of its people. This era pushed the preservation of the region's shared consciousness further than any previous conflict, forcing the ancient cultural ecosystem to defend its very sense of self. The final stage is governed by Shiva, the transformer. This force destroys old stagnant illusions to make room for a new creation. The illusion of colonial control was dismantled by a resistance movement centered on truth and nonviolence, reconnecting the independence struggle to ancient philosophical roots. Independence in 1947 came with a brutal physical transformation. The map of Akhand Bharat was shattered, resulting in the creation of separate nations. Millions were displaced, and countless lives were lost in the chaos of partition. This event left a permanent historical wound, physically dividing a land culturally unified for millennia. The breaking of the physical borders demonstrated that the true essence of Akhand Bharat lived in the shared consciousness of its people, rather than the lines drawn on a map. Modern India exists as a living synthesis of these three forces. Ancient traditions operate seamlessly alongside a rapidly advancing technological landscape. In the silence of the Himalayas, spiritual seekers still follow ancient paths, while a few hundred miles away, digital creators drive one of the world's most modern economies. The cosmic cycles of creation, preservation, and transformation remain visible in everyday life through vibrant festivals and a deep-seated belief in karma. Modern India is a collection of millions of distinct stories, yet they remain anchored by the same persistent thread, a collective drive to reconcile ancient knowledge with the modern age. The civilization's legacy is found in the specific way it reframes existence for those who engage with it, shifting the focus from the borders on a map to the internal search for truth.